You about ready to start? Okay. Okay. Hello. Thank you for coming tonight. Tom Muir. Hello, folks. This is not cult behavior. This is not cult behavior. This is not cult behavior. This is not cult behavior.
Don't forget to drink the Kool-Aid.
Free Kool-Aid on your way out. It's a nice way to say hi. It's a way of extending love in an easy way. Easy way, Not cult behavior. Is there anyone here who's never been here before or been with me before? Well, thank you for making the trip. And everyone else, thank you for coming back. And thank you, Patricia, thank you, Andrew, for making it happen. And Bernie for helping. Where's Katrina? And Katrina for helping. And anyone else who helped. I'm enjoying the rain. It's been drought in California. I'm hoping to take some of this back with me. Maybe just send it there. Use your cult behavior. Is it that way? What the? It'll get there if it keeps going, right? Just send it out there anyway. That way. Get there quicker. Okay. And what year is this that we've been here? 15th year. Wow. And I'll tell you, this is sort of true, but it feels like I'm saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And yet, learning and learning and learning and learning and learning. So if it seems like I'm saying the same thing over and over, I probably said something similar. But remember, like the reason I keep harping on the stuff that I harp about It's sort of fun to say harp. Is because this is the stuff that I think is significant to keep hammering on. There's so many things to be talking about, but the many things to be talking about will make more sense the clearer you are on the fundamental ideas. And so what I try to do is just keep hammering on the fundamental ideas, and then you spin off to details and complexities, but they make sense because they're just elaborations of the fundamental ideas. Okay, so my interest always is just to get clearer and clearer on the fundamental ideas. Because if you do that, then the complexities start making sense. And you're not confused. And it's not easy to get clear on the fundamentals, but it's fun. You know, it's like, the stuff that we've been harping on seems significant. I'm totally in learning mode. It feels like I'm in better learning mode than ever. And it's fun to be in learning mode. Part of being in learning mode means that being in learning mode means that, you know, you're getting clearer and clearer that you don't, how little you actually know. You know, so that's sort of disheartening. Well, I've been doing this for, not quite 50 years, but more than 45. I've been doing this 40, well, it doesn't matter. Been doing this a long time. Anyway, I'm still totally in love with this. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be doing this. And again, I just want to say thanks for being here. Thanks for taking a weekend out of your life in order to organize your way here. Now, we go until 8:30 tonight. I just want to start easy at the beginning. 2 hours tonight. Tomorrow morning we go for 3 hours. We start at 10, so 10 to 1, and then 3 to 5, 2 hours in the afternoon, and then 3 hours again Sunday morning, which we start at 10. Sort of civilized. And I say this every workshop now, but I sort of have fun saying this. It's a 10-hour event. It's not a huge amount of time. It's a really nice amount of time. But if you're not used to doing 10 hours of yoga in such a relatively short amount of time, just pace yourself. Just, you know, survive the weekend. You're the one that's got to live with the consequences. And if I were you, just play it easy. Just sort of have a fun weekend. Like, don't make yourself do anything you don't want to do. And it's going to be sort of easy anyway. Each year it's gotten a little easier and a little easier. And I think this year it's not going to be much easier than the last couple of years, I don't think, but it's definitely easier than it used to be. And it's at a level that I just really enjoy. I'm feeling better than ever, and my back used to always hurt before. You know what I mean? I would never cop to it before. But now I just realize the difference, you know, like, wow, just playing it easier, it's like I feel better. Which makes me think, you know, like advanced poses, they're sort of overrated. Especially if you're getting hurt or if you're hurting. Just play it easy. Just so you feel good. That's all you want. Being more flexible, fortunately or unfortunately, doesn't make you very much more enlightened. And that's really what you want to go for, is like the mental clarity. But if you're hurting yourself or hurting your knees or hurting your back or hurting your shoulder, it's not smart. Just play it sort of easy. So it's going to be sort of easy. And the patterns that I'll be sharing are patterns that I think are particularly good for getting the hang of how to do freeform. What we'll be doing together, I'm now calling freedom yoga. And sort of like the subset of freedom yoga is freeform asana practice. Freeform practice is sort of like, it's like you're learning how to channel your practice. And all your discipline training should culminate in the sense of like actually beginning to channel your yoga practice. The patterns will be easy. We'll have a freeform chapter in here, and at that point, you can push it as hard as you want using the principles that we've been talking about. Okay? So pose-wise is going to be easy, but metaphysical-wise, I'm going to make it as advanced as I can make it. Again, I know there's more because I'm still learning. I feel like I'm just learning hugely. And so, yeah, advanced, as advanced metaphysically as we can get it. But the simplicity of advanced metaphysical, the simplicity of that is you're simply learning how to trust yourself. Self-trust is the advanced practice. When I got clear on that, it was just like, wow, like that sentence just became bold and italic and psychedelicized in my mind. Self-trust is the advanced practice. The advanced practice is trusting yourself. Trusting yourself is where it's at. It's what you want to get good at. If you're not trusting yourself, that's a weird place to be in. And it makes sense to trust yourself once you have insight into the fact that you had nothing to do with the fact that you exist. You didn't make you. I didn't make me. The all is being itself as you. And so as you learn to trust yourself, you're not just like trusting into pea-brain, puny you. You're learning to trust into the all, which is being you. But you and your ability to sense into the feeling of what's feeling right or not is how you start sensing into the wisdom of the all. But just sort of keep that highlighted in your mind. Self-trust is the advanced practice. Trusting yourself to do that which feels right and like bounce off of that which feels wrong. You learn to do that in the asana practice. And if you start getting the hang of that in the asana practice, you'll find yourself walking out the door, going through your life, trusting yourself about what to do, what feels right, and not do what doesn't feel right to you. And then you start to get it. Oh, wow. Yoga is about lifestyle. And again, this is one of those points, I say this every time, but it's like, this needs to be hammered in. Yoga is becoming so popular in the West, but it should be, the message is that it's lifestyle. Yoga is lifestyle, not just PE class, not just therapeutic PE class. It's the way you do your thing. And it's basically about trusting yourself to do that which feels right because you start sensing that you are the specific and unique self-expression of the all. And so you start being the place where the wisdom of the all starts flowing through into expression. All the time, or like as much as you can do it. But like all the time, it's just like, think of it like that, all the time. Lifestyle is all the time. It's how you do your thing. So So self-trust. And if I repeat myself, sort of like get it, or like appreciate it, or be happy about it, or like hear it again, you're not trusting P-brain, puny you, you're trusting into the all which is being you. It just happens to be the fact that where you are is where you can sense into the feeling tone of the all. The all is bubbling up through you, and as you relax into you, you start feeling the all. Again, that's cool. And it's sort of simple and sort of like, yeah. But then, do it. Do it all the time. Trust yourself to do what's feeling right, and be willing to veer away from things when they feel wrong to you. So like yes and no have their place. But the whole time it's just about listening for what's feeling right to you. So self-trust, the advanced technique. And the trick on that essentially is learning to get into a place where you're not thinking quite so much. This is one of the hugest discoveries that I'm aware of. When you can manage to put your obsessive thinking in pause mode, you discover that, wow, you don't go unconscious like I thought would happen. You actually start going super conscious. When you can manage to put your obsessive thinking in pause mode a little bit, when you can manage to think less a little bit, and it's very similar to just like relaxing your body a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit. Your body doesn't disappear. But the tension, the dissonance begins to disappear. When the tension and the dissonance in your physical form disappears, what's left is nice feeling. When you manage to get quiet in your mind, you don't go unconscious. Instead, you find yourself knowing stuff you didn't know you knew. Universal wisdom starts feeling like your common sense. And it's just sort of easy. Like whatever you need to know will be there to know if you just quell your thinking a little bit. That's worth $1 million. You can donate it to the Yellow Springs Yoga Center, or whatever you're called. When you can manage to put your thinking in pause mode, you don't go unconscious. Instead, new knowing begins to flow in. And then your job, your joy, what you get to do is live your life with the new knowing. And wherever you find yourself being is the place to be doing that. I used to always think that there was like a special place to meditate or a special place to listen. But wherever you are is where you're supposed to be doing it. When you're driving home, that's where you should be listening for the download. When you're going to bed at night, that's where you should be listening for the download. If you're talking on the phone, that's where you should be listening for the download. Okay, so in terms of just basic ideas, the word yoga, I'm sure you all know this, but again, it keeps coming back to the word yoga. Like get clear on this. The word yoga comes from the Sanskrit root word yoga, which means yoke. When you're involved with the yoga, you're involved with yoking, joining, connecting. And sort of the simple idea is it's about using your mind to join or yoke or connect with big mind. The analogy I like is it's like using your mind to get online. It's such a perfect analogy for now. Everyone knows how to get online. Everyone knows that when you get online, suddenly you've got access to all the information that's online. From your little computer or wherever you happen to be, you can get online and know whatever you need to know. Yoga is about using your mind to get online. Googling whatever you need to know whenever you need to know something. And then, instead of thinking, listen a little bit longer, because when you do, the knowing will flow in. And then your joy is to give expression to what you find yourself knowing when you're not thinking quite so much. And again, the idea is to then just do that all the time. Now, the more you yoke and join like that, and you connect, and you use your mind to get online, and whenever you have a decision to make, you just sort of listen for the Google, and you do it a lot, and you do it a lot, and you do it a lot, and like really, like do it a lot, like years. Do it a lot, do it like all the time. Whenever you have a decision about anything, just Google it. Don't make up your own mind anymore. Google it. It's easy. It's just as easy as trying to figure it out on your own, except it works better. Whenever you need to know something, just Google it. Pause, listen. When you listen, you'll start to hear. Often people get confused by the word hear, but you'll find yourself knowing. An inner knowing will start coming through. And then give expression to it. Okay, so that's sort of like how you yoke and give expression. Now, the more you do that and you get online like that, and you do it a lot, pretty soon you start to realize, oh, come on, I don't have to yoke and get online. Come on, I'm online. You are yoked, you are joined. You start to realize, well, you can't get offline. You can't actually get disconnected. And then the meaning of your word yoga begins to shift. It means yoke, but it also means union. And so the way I talk about it now is like the technique is yoking, Googling things and asking for guidance whenever you need to know it. But the more you do that and you yoke and you join and you connect, pretty soon you start realizing, oh wow, I am connected. There is an already existing unity. I don't actually have to join. I don't actually have to yoke. Yeah, that was helpful. Yeah, it was useful to talk about it like that. Yeah, keep talking about it like that because it'll make sense to a lot of people, and it sure did feel like I was offline before, and it sure did feel like I was learning to connect. But the more you do it, the more you realize, wow, I was connected the whole time. You don't have to yoke. Getting yoked and joining is baloney. You are connected. And then the meaning just begins to shift to whoa, I'm online. You're online. You're already online. And all you've got to do is start availing yourself of what's available. And then living your life with that knowing. And again, that's yoga. That's what we're talking about. Freedom yoga all the time, lifestyle. Therefore, the main practice in yoga is meditation. And whenever I talk about meditation, I'm referring to it as listening. When you meditate, you're just listening for the Google. You listen. And because you are connected, or put it the other way, if you're not listening, What you're doing is you're thinking and you're energizing your current level of ignorance. And when you neglect to energize your current level of ignorance and you learn to not think for moments at a time, and the bigger wisdom starts flowing through, then, yeah, you start to get it. And so the technique is listen. Meditate. There's 3 places to meditate that I talk about. The first place to meditate is the usual. And I don't think it's going to get any colder than this, if you're worried about that. I'm actually enjoying the temperature. Is everyone okay? Are you okay?
It's what it is.
It is what it is, I know. Meditation is the main technique. And if something is described as being the main technique, what that's saying is that's the main thing that will help precipitate the experience. Meditation is the main thing that will help precipitate the experience of yoga. It's the main thing that will precipitate the experience of your conscious unity with infinity. It's the main thing. And all it is listen. You're not having to establish your unity. It's about realizing, oh, I am connected. It's built in. It's the already existing fact. If I stop thinking that I'm not connected and I stop energizing my current level of ignorance and I just start playing around with this a little bit, when I listen and the new knowing flows in, you'll start getting hip to the fact that, wow, this works. And so the main technique is meditating. The first place to learn how to meditate is the usual place. Like sit down like Buddha. And if you're not already a regular meditator, like get yourself to do it. This weekend, if only, since you came here. Sit down like Buddha and just become still, relax, and just for a couple minutes. Most people have trouble meditating though. And so what I've gotten comfortable talking about is meditating in bed. Do you remember this? I think I've been talking about this for a couple of years now. But I was also shy about it before. It just seemed almost disrespectful. But it's not. It's, in fact, I'm such a bed medder now. It's such a cool thing. Advocate of bed med. And so right now I'm assigning homework, okay? Tonight, before you dive under the covers totally, and whether you do it or not is up to you, okay? But I'm just suggesting. This is what I like to do now. Last thing at night, sit up in bed, put a bunch of pillows behind your back, just lean back. I've usually got my legs sticking out in front of me, just sort of easy, one over the other, or I do easy sort of cross-legged position. Just get comfortable. You're in bed, you're about to go to sleep. You don't be all uptight about it. Get in bed, lean back. Be at about a 45-degree angle. You know what I mean? Just almost like a total slump asana. But comfortable. You want to be comfortable. And then just relax for a few minutes. You made it through the day. Just chill. And at the right moment, you'll know, just dive under the covers, go to sleep. And then in the morning when you wake up, and you probably won't want to do this. I didn't want to do this. I got this. Now I love doing this. I like waking up 30, 40 minutes before the alarm. Usually you don't have to, my lifestyle is such where I don't need the alarm very often. But if I have to get up at a certain time, I set the alarm, and I usually wake up about half an hour before the alarm. And usually I think, oh, good, another half an hour. But now when I find myself waking up, just drag yourself up to a seated position, put the pillows behind your back, lean back, and just almost go right back to sleep. You won't go to sleep, probably. If you do, so what? The alarm will wake you up in a few minutes. But just sort of like drag yourself up to the seated position and just relax. You'll find yourself waking up very slowly, figuring things out. You'll be so relaxed. Waking up slowly, slowly, slowly. And there's something about sitting there being so relaxed and effortless, you start feeling subtle joy. Now, if you're sitting there doing nothing except relaxing and you start feeling subtle joy, that's a clue. You're doing nothing. And you start paying attention to the energy that constitutes you, and it starts feeling like subtle joy. It's like, whoa, whoa. And the more you pay attention to it, it becomes not so subtle. Like the feeling of joy starts becoming obviously the energy that you're made out of. That'll begin to shift your understanding about what's going on right there where you are. Again, the upshot on this is that the energy is love. You're made out of love, as it turns out. That sounds hokey at first, it sounds sentimental, it sounds hopeful. But increasingly, it's the realistic stance. The energy that you're made out of is lovely. And if you give yourself a few moments to just relax and pay attention to it, you do start feeling lovely. It's healing. And it's a great way to start the day. And it's so easy, you're likely to think it doesn't even count. Okay, so if it doesn't count, then later in the morning, sit on your zafu, do an official meditation and sit perfectly erect. And then again in the afternoon, sit on your zafu and sit perfectly erect. And that's sort of the regime I would recommend to serve as a basic pattern to start living your life with. Bed med at night for an unspecified couple minutes. Bed med in the morning. You'll like it, 20, 30 minutes, but don't even time it. And then do an official meditation on your zafu at some point in the AM, and then do it again at some point in the PM. And with that little program, you'll be meditating 4 times a day. And you'll realize, wow, this is so easy. Why was I having a problem? Why was anybody having a problem meditating? And the more you do it, the more you start you begin to value it. So I would vote, start adopting that as a little program, 4 times a day. If that seems too many, then do the bed med, and at some point during the day, sit down and be more official about it. I spend most of my life at my desk. I'm working on my computer, writing and doing video, and I'm in an office chair. I can cross my legs like this, and it's got armrests, and it is extremely comfortable. Armrests are a good invention. It takes the weight out of your arms, it's not pulling down on your shoulders. And so I'll do an email, and then just meditate for a few seconds. Do another email, meditate for a couple of seconds. And if you can get yourself to like pause like that many, 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 many times in a day, you'll find yourself meditating multiple times. You'll start feeling the subtle joy as a kind of a steady constant. You'll become more aware of what you're doing mentally. The more aware of what you're doing mentally, the more you can just like put it in pause mode and listen. Hear guidance. You'll feel inspired about what you then give expression to. And then you pause again. Again, it's cool. And you're doing something like all the time. You know what I mean? Like just start doing this more. Put a pause in your thinking. Put a pause in your body. Just relax. It's not hard. It's just like a new thing. Just exhale and let the tension flow out. Do it a lot. Okay? The second place to meditate is in the yoga poses. Again, meditate means listen. And as you're doing the yoga poses, it's a matter of like listening. It'll really feel like you're doing a moving meditation. And if you're doing a moving meditation, the gist of that is that it'll feel like you're channeling it. Again, you want to get to the place where it feels like you're channeling your asana practice. That's advanced, even if you're doing easy poses. If I were to say to a beginner, get into Trikonasana and channel it, they wouldn't have a clue. You got to tell them what to do. It takes a little bit of training to be able to do this. And so like, if you're a teacher, like tell people what to do. If you're a student, like learn what people are saying. Learn it, do it, train yourself, get good at the alignments, at the sequences, etc. But then increasingly, as you're doing what you've been taught, just get into the experience more. When you get into it more, you'll find that there's natural like linger moments, there's natural flow on moments, there's natural change it up moments. And so if you start with something that you know, a prescribed pattern, and you do it the way were taught, but then you keep getting into it and into it, you'll find yourself deviating. Next thing you know, your whole practice will become this one big deviation. Except you're not deviating from online listening. You're like learning to be the place where the meditation can happen. Okay? So that's clear, I think. But it does take training. The third place to meditate is just like the rest of the time. Wherever you find yourself being, just remind yourself to shut up, relax, and listen. And whoa, when you do that, new knowing flows in. New inspired feeling to do and be happens. And then you get to like live it. So it'll feel like your whole lifestyle is like you're channeling your whole life. Life gets more fun. You'll find yourself getting better at whatever you're being guided to do. It's not always going to be easy, but then when it's not so easy, you learn to like relax a little more, listen a little more, like shut up about it more, listen, get online. And then next thing you know, okay, so meditation means listening. You get the hang of it by sitting quietly. You get the hang of it by doing the asanas, moving meditation. And then you do it wherever you find yourself being all day long. Equals lifestyle, equals yoga lifestyle, equals yoga online connected lifestyle. Okay, now, the way these sessions are likely to happen, chapter 1 is what's happening now. Erich talks. And if you have any questions at any point, just raise your hand. Wait until I call on you, please. I'll call on you if I see you, probably. Sort of amusing, like I often don't see somebody raising their hand. Like I'm not deliberately avoiding anybody. Just raise your hand again. Okay, just a second. Okay. Chapter 1 will be talking, and we can discuss about various things, whatever you want. There's things I want to get into, but if I were in the class, I always had a zillion questions. If you've got questions, cool. Let's go get into them. Chapter 2 is we'll meditate, like sitting like Buddha. The thing I'm into at the moment, the main technique is called conscious immobility. It's like you learn to sit there absolutely still. It's a really fun practice. It doesn't seem like it would be. But the only way to sit there absolutely still without holding yourself still is by relaxing, 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 relaxing. And you get to a place where you're absolutely still without holding yourself still. There's less and less tension in your experience. And when you have an increasingly tension-free experience, then ... you set yourself up for having a clear, tension-free experience of conscious being. And again, the clue, I've given the clue, the clue is the energy is love. The energy is wisdom, simple common sense, knowing. This is the sort of stuff that will start being your experience as you sit there in conscious immobility. You don't have to do anything fancy, just don't move. And all you gotta do is just relax. Seems easy. And then you go home and do it in bed. And again, it's hard to come up with a better homework than that. Chapter 1, talking. Chapter 2, conscious immobility practice, meditating. Chapter 3 will be the guided asana practice where the human teacher's telling you what to do. I would vote, at that point, listen to the words of the human teacher a little bit more than normal. Surrender a little bit. Let it feel like Simon Says. If Simon says put your hand like that, just play the game and put your blinking hand like that. If Simon says put your hand like that, just play the game, put it like that. Or like whatever the teacher's saying, just sort of, you go there to learn, and so just be in learning mode. Oh, he's saying that, I don't know what, but okay. You're getting trained in technique, for one thing. And different teachers have different ideas about technique, so just like try it out. If you don't like it, then when you go home, you do it the way you like. You get trained in technique and sequencing, etc. But mostly what you're learning by surrendering to the human teaching is you're learning to put your preferences in pause mode, which is exactly the skill you need in order to hear online knowing skillfully. You learn to put your preferences in pause mode because you want to hear God's voice in easy words. And so you learn it here, you practice it here in the poses. Simon Says, but cool. Chapter 4 will be then the Freeform chapter, where the human teacher will not be telling you what to do. It's funny. People don't like to be told what to do, and then they don't like it when they're not being told what to do. What am I to do? And so what I'm suggesting is during chapter 3, the guided part, listen a little bit more, just play the game a little bit more, follow the pacing a little bit more, surrender a little bit more, because if you get the hang of doing it there, then when you get to the Freeform chapter, it's almost exactly the same, except instead of listening to the human person at the front of the room telling you what to do, you're listening inwardly for what to do. And you put your preferences in pause mode because you want to feel what the deepest impulse is. And again, like, it's cool. Chapter 1, talking. Chapter 2, meditating. Chapter 3, guided asana. Chapter 4, freeform asana, where I won't be telling you what to do, except listen inwardly, dare to do what's feeling right to you. If during that point you just want to lie on your back and listen to the music, then yeah, just lie on your back and listen to the music. If you want to do jumping jacks, do jumping jacks. Just don't bug anybody else is sort of like the rule. During the freeform chapter, I put on the music typically. I usually put it pretty loud. Not excessive, but loud tends to help you get quiet in your mind. Plus, I like the volume that we put it at. Not everyone likes the music I put on. It'll be over soon. After the freeform chapter, we'll then sit up and meditate again at the end. And if there's time, before we sit up again at the end and meditate, I'm going to try and get another chapter in there of lying down and doing a nice shavasana. Shavasana is a pose, the deep relaxation pose, that I think should be practiced seriously, frequently. Try to do shavasana every day if you can. Or even just once a week where you lie down and you give yourself 20 or 30 minutes and just seriously, just lie on your back and get comfortable and let go, let go, let go, let go. And pay attention to the experience you're having. So I'm hoping to get a fair amount of that in this weekend. And then sitting up again at the end and meditating for a couple minutes. I think it's best to end the class sitting up rather than ending on shavasana. You'll find that you're a little more alert as you walk out of the room. Okay, do you still have a question?
Well, kind of. Then what is the importance then of meditating upright? Why can't you meditate horizontally?
Yeah, so she's asking, so what's the benefit, the difference, or the benefit, or the, why would anyone ever want to sit up and meditate? Exactly, I don't know. Except that you'll find, I find myself, I don't always want to lie down. That's not always the preferred mode. I find I really like being able to sit erect comfortably. In fact, most of the poses that I teach now are basically geared to just getting your body in the conditioning to where you can sit comfortably so that you're erect with your spine as straight as possible and yet able to relax. You'll find that because you're sitting up, you tend to be more alert. Usually when people lie down and they relax, it reminds them of sleep and they just kind of conk out too fast. Where it's sort of hard to conk out when you're sitting up. And it's, I don't know, there's something special, something really nice about sitting erect. Like alert, but relaxed. And that takes skill. I sit like this a lot when I'm meditating. Sometimes I'll sit with both legs out. Sometimes lotus. Sometimes on a zafu. Often I'll sort of sit in this shankara position like this. I like this a lot. You should probably like have 5 or 6 different positions that you can put yourself in. Sitting up ones. Any other questions just right now before we? Okay, good. I hope I was clear enough just now. Yoga means yoking. It's about getting online. It's about realizing that you are online, have been online, and that all you've got to do is think less and listen more. Again, just an easy way to talk about it. Don't energize your current level of ignorance, think less, and listen more. You'll find new inspiration coming in. Again, that is such a lifesaver idea. And then meditate, sit quietly, lie quietly, do it in bed. Like short durations, longer durations. Like many times, like whenever it occurs to you. Sort of like whenever it occurs to you, like just remind yourself to do it right in that moment. If it occurs to you, do it right in that moment. Just exhale and relax. And just sort of listen. Most of the time it'll seem like nothing's happening. But just like keep hanging in there. You will find yourself becoming more intuitive. You will start feeling subtle joy. Effortlessly. Which means you don't have to change yourself in any fundamental way. Basically, all you've got to do is like experience the fundamental truth, which is that you are the all in specific self-expression. You are God in specific self-expression. You are the child or the self-expression of God, the all. And I would vote start getting comfortable with the word God. I still wince when I hear other people talk about it, usually. But I don't wince so much when I use the word now. And like when I sort of crack the code on what it means for me, like God means being. It means supreme being. Not a supreme being that you'll meet after death, but supreme being, which is being everything that's being. Everything that you're aware of is the specific self-expression of the all, God, supreme being, being whatever it is. And you are the all, being you. You had nothing to do with the fact that you're here. The all is being you. You're the child of God. You're the self-expression of God, of the all. And God is love. So I'd heard that for years, but it sort of like didn't make sense, or like it just seemed irrelevant. It cracks me up now. But it seemed irrelevant until I realized, oh wow, it's so relevant. If God, the all, is love, then therefore that is what you are. That's why you start feeling the subtle joy. If you're not feeling it, it means that you're entertaining illusory, deluded self-identity thoughts. You're believing something about yourself which isn't true. What a relief to get wind of that. Therefore, just stop thinking what you think about yourself. Shut up. Relax. Every time it occurs to you, just do that. You'll start feeling the love that is the constituting presence of you. And it won't feel egotistical. You know, like you start feeling good inside, and at first I started feeling like, I'm not supposed to feel good. No, you're supposed to feel good. And if you're not, that's feedback. It's not an indictment, but it's feedback. It's a clue that you should relax. Moments at a time, but many, 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 many moments. And then just listen for guidance more. Because you will then be guided about how to do and be. Okay. We're about to slide into chapter 2, the meditation part. If you want to stand up and shake and just get yourself ready to sit back down, do whatever you got to do. That was 57 minutes. That was a long time to sit there. And then when you're ready, just sit back down. The way I would use the word Christ now, Christ is the self-expression of God. So the Christ mind, or like the son or the daughter of God, is a Christ. It's not like an attainment. I used to always think it was an attainment, like professor, you work your way up to enlightenedhood and you become a Christ. But whereas it's more like the other way around, the simple fact that you exist is the statement that you are the Christ child, the self-expression of God, the all. But it's just code, you know what I mean? So you got to be able to crack the code, use the code in certain circumstances, not use it at certain moments. Christ is the same as Buddha or any other of these words. It's just the clear recognition of that which is. So like we're all the Christ, actually. It's not egotistical to say that. In fact, it's the least egotistical statement you can make. You're the child, the daughter, the son or daughter of the all. Okay, so let's practice conscious immobility for a couple minutes. I'll be talking for a few minutes and then I'll zip it and be quiet. But the simplicity of it is you get yourself comfortable and then you sit. And you just practice not moving. And you practice sitting still without holding yourself still. And the only way to sit still without holding yourself still is by relaxing, relaxing, and relaxing. And so in a sense, just be busy relaxing. If at any point you need to shift your alignment and you need to wiggle and move, you can do that. It's not like you can't move. Like, don't let it feel like you're in a straitjacket and you're not allowed to move. You can move whenever you want. Like, shift your alignment. But then you shift your alignment in order to get everything just right once again so that you can then settle into it. And practice becoming still without holding yourself still. Again, it's such an interesting exercise. It'll be for a few minutes. Just keep pushing it in the sense of don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move. But don't hold yourself still. Just let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. So step number one, whenever you sit down or lie down to meditate, and right now if you would rather be lying down, then just quietly slide down onto your back and get comfortable lying down. It's okay. Give yourself permission to lie down onto your back if that's what you would rather be doing right now. Like, really. And then whether you're lying down or whether you're sitting up, just watch what you're doing to get yourself comfortable. You are doing various little things, or you did a couple things a moment ago. Watch what you're doing to get the alignment of your body just right. Until you feel comfortable-ish. Comfortable enough to practice becoming still. And then just gently start sliding into it. Be aware of the fact that you're breathing. And notice that the movement of your breathing is a movement. Like, you'll be sitting here absolutely still, not moving, and yet you'll be aware of a tremendous amount of subtle movement. Most notably, the ripple caused by your breathing. And so notice the ripple of your breathing. That's an involuntary movement. Feel the involuntary movement of your breathing, and voluntarily just let go and let go. Whenever it occurs to you, remind yourself to relax anywhere. As I keep doing it here, keep letting go, remember. Like a little bit more and a little bit more. And I would vote, like, go to the crown of your head now, like the area at the top of your head. You've got another minute and a half. Feel the ripple of breathing in the area of the crown of your head. And then begin to slow melt down. Float down a little bit, like into your forehead. And feel the ripple of your breathing. Float down into the area of your eyes. Feel the ripple of your breathing through that area. And just really get as tension-free as you can be and let it float down a little and a little and a little. And notice that you start feeling wide open like space. You'll start to get the sense that you are the space in which everything you're aware of is happening. And last couple seconds. And then just let your head bow down. Wait for the right moment and then let your eyes open. And just notice yourself getting used to the colors and the shapes. And then let your head come up. Okay, all rise. That was 12 minutes. So chapter 3, guided asana. Okay, with your right arm, please. Just small little arcs like this. Just easy, small arcs with a controlled movement. Just sort of easy. And just gradually start letting each arc get a little bit bigger. But keep it a controlled movement here. So that wherever your arm happens to be, it's there because it put itself there and it's safe. Controlled movement. Each arc gets a little bit bigger until finally your arm feels comfortable going all the way over. Now as you're doing the arm circle like this, with a controlled movement, every once in a while you'll get an inner feeling to change the direction. At that point, let it change direction. Gradually, let the movement become a little more slippery. So not so controlling, a little more slippery. Letting it change direction whenever it wants to. And notice that every once in a while, your arm wants to linger. And at the end of the linger moment, it then flows on again. And then close your eyes. And for a couple seconds here, just get into it a little bit more than you already are. Be attentive to the linger moments, the flow on moments, the change direction moments. Let the arcs slow down, get smaller once again. Open your eyes. Get it going on the second side. Small arcs. Controlled movement. Each arc gets a little bit bigger. Keep it controlled though at first. Finally, your arm wants to start going all the way over. Little by little, let it get more slippery. Close your eyes at a certain point. And get into it. These are the essentials of how to channel your practice. Like right now, doing the little arm circles. Let it feel like, oh wow, I'm getting the hang of like how to channel this. Let the arcs slow down. Get smaller once again. Open your eyes. And then come to the first hand and just shake it loose. Add your forearm. Add your whole arm. And then again, close your eyes. And for a couple seconds here, just get into it a little bit more than you already are. Deliberately change the rhythm up some of the time. Sometimes stronger, sometimes softer. But just keep feeling it. You'll find yourself, hey, you kind of know what to do once you start getting into it. And then open your eyes. Start it with the other hand. Just shake the tension out. Add the forearm. The whole arm. And then again, close your eyes. And just train yourself to get into it. Feel what you're doing to your arm. You're shaking all the habitual tension out. And then open your eyes. Same thing, but start with the foot. Add your lower leg, your whole leg, and try that with your eyes closed. Okay, and then with the other foot. First the foot, then add your lower leg, then the whole leg,
And then try with your eyes closed. Okay. Feet hip width apart, please. Put your feet where you think they're exactly hip width apart. Look down at your feet, like spread your toes as much as you can. And rig it so that the inner edge of each foot is pointing exactly straight ahead. This is just awareness training. Okay, from here, step a little wider. From there, step a little wider. Spread your toes, snuggle your feet. Take a breath in. And then bend your legs first. And then slide your hands over your knees, down the shin bones. And feel your hands just beginning to merge into your ankles. Re-snuggle your feet into the floor. Like a little bit more than you already are. And again, just let it feel like you're a little kid who's never snuggled their feet in the sand before, into the floor before. Push your arms straight so that you lift up a little higher. And then be aware of the alignment of your head and neck. And just fix your head and neck so it feels like it's in a neutral alignment. And then breathe. Remember, this is just Simon Says at this point. Now shift your hips over to the left and live here for a few moments. Re-snuggle your feet. Re-push your arms straight so that you lift up. Fix your head and neck, make it neutral. Notice how there's more weight on your left foot. Shift your hips over to the right. Re-snuggle the feet. Re-lengthen your arms so you lift up. Re-fix your head and neck. Couple seconds, get into it. Shift your hips over to the left. Close your eyes. Shift your hips over to the right. Shift your hips to the left. Now just go side to side a number of times. And as you're going just side to side, be attentive to when you feel like lingering and when you then feel like flowing on. You're just learning to listen for inner guidance here. Be as liquid as possible as you're doing this. And then shift your hips over to the left. Keep them there. Move your head and torso over to the right. Notice how that starts to put a gentle twist through your torso. Your left hand is on your left ankle. As you push gently into your left hand, you'll feel your torso spiral a little bit better. A couple seconds here. Just gentle. Shift your hips over to the right. Keep them there. Move the head and torso over to the left. Gently pushing into the right hand, spiraling through the torso. Fix your head and neck, just a couple seconds. And then bring your torso back to the middle. And with both legs gently bent, fall down through the middle, let your head dangle. And then bend your legs, come down to a squat position. You can let your feet come closer together at this point. And bring your hands into mudra number 1. Just palms together. Just for a couple seconds here. Mudra 2, just extend your arms straight. Couple seconds here. Mudra 3, your hands will float up. Just practice feeling the energy in your hands. And then Mudra 4, your palms come together. Let the left hand spin down, the right hand spin up. Mudra size your fingers somehow, just to where it feels like your hands are making a mystical note. Okay, and then come onto your hands and knees. That's about as hard as it's going to get. Now, what I would vote is, I would recommend memorizing these patterns as we go through them. They're good ones to know. We will be repeating them. Start on your hands and knees. And begin by looking at your hands, look at your wrist crease. And just rig it so that the wrist crease of each hand is horizontal. Again, I'm not implying that your wrists should always be like this, but this is a good basic choice. Spread your fingers fully, snuggle your hands into the floor, and then look at your index fingers and just memorize where they are. Where your index fingers are right now is where they'll be when your fingers are fully spread with the wrist creases squared. Keep your arms straight. Lean down into your shoulders. Just sort of relax here for a sec. This is the down extreme of the arm line. Lengthen your arms and lift up as high as you can. This is the up extreme of the arm line. As you exhale, float to the bottom. Inhale, float to the top. Just go down and up a couple times. These are your choices. It's sort of like learning the alphabet here. Down extreme, up extreme. And then make the movement smaller and smaller till you end up in a nice middle spot. Shrug the shoulders away from your ears. Fix your head and neck so it feels neutral. And notice that right now your arms are straight and your spine is straight. And as you slowly move your butt back towards your feet, your arms stay straight, but your back rounds gently. It's no longer in neutral. Wobble gently here. Re-snuggle your hands into the floor. And then for a couple seconds, pull backwards pretty hard with your hands. And just notice all the little places that get activated when you pull back like that. This is one extreme. Now do the opposite. Push the floor away and just feel the difference. Wobble gently. Do the first part again, pull for a couple seconds. Again, you're just familiarizing yourself with the choices. Push for a couple seconds, feel the difference. Wobble gently. Now, without moving your hands, come up onto your hands and knees again. And just move your shoulders forward until they're over your wrists. So now your spine is in neutral again. Your arms are straight, your back is straight. Turn the toes under. Look at your arms. Notice that they're vertical. Keep them exactly how they are as you lift your knees up and straighten your legs. So now your arms are straight. Your back is still straight. Your legs are straight. Slowly move your butt back and up until your straight arms and your straight spine click into a single straight line. You'll still be on the ball of each foot. You can go through the straight line with your arms and shoulders, but don't at this point. Just click into the straight line, keep it straight, and then feeling your hands on the floor, push the floor away and feel how your butt goes away from your hands. The straight line that you are gets longer. You just telescope it. Wobble gently to liquefy it. And then shift your shoulders forward till the arms are vertical. Bend the knees down, point your toes, and take it back into child's pose. Wobble gently. Slide your hands back by your knees. Curl your head in, hesitate, and then just slowly round your way up. Your spine comes to vertical, your head floats up to neutral. And then close your eyes. And for a couple seconds, just relax. Practice sitting still. Without holding yourself still. Let your eyes open. As you inhale, take it up into your chin. And as you exhale, hinge forward again, please. Slide your hands forward as far as they'll go. Lift your head, look at your hands. Put your index finger where you memorized it before. Spread the other fingers fully. Theoretically, your wrist creases will be squared at this point. Let your head go back down. And then pull a couple seconds. Feel what's happening. Do the opposite. Push for a couple seconds. Wobble gently. Do the first one again. Pull. Push. Wobble gently. Without moving your hands, come up on your hands and knees again. Move the shoulders forward till your arms are vertical. Turn the toes under. Peek at your arms. Keep them exactly how they are as you lift your knees up. Straighten the legs. Linger. Fix your head and neck so it feels neutral. Slowly move your butt back and up. And be attentive to when your arms and spine click into the straight line. Click into the straight line and then push the floor away. Telescope the straight line. Wobble it gently. And then bend the left leg so you start getting a big toe stretch on your left foot. And the right heel, press it down toward the floor. Couple seconds. So your left foot is at the up extreme, your right foot is at the down extreme. Switch the feet, bend the right leg, get the toe stretch. Press the left heel toward the floor. Just for a couple seconds here. Right foot at the up extreme, getting the toe stretch. Left foot at the down extreme, getting the Achilles stretch. The right heel, the one that's up, press it towards the down extreme now. And then get out of there. Shift your shoulders forward. Bend the knees down, point the toes. Take it back to child's pose. Wobble gently. Slide your hands back by your knees. Curl your head in, hesitate, and then slowly round your way up. Your spine comes up, your head comes up, and then close your eyes and just linger here for a few seconds. Like, be aware of the tension level in your experience and just let it diminish. Like, even just a little. And from there, just a little. Okay, third dog pose. As you inhale, take the chin up. As you exhale, hinge forward again. Slide the hands forward as far as they'll go. Lift your head, peek at the hands, put the index fingers where you memorize them, spread the other ones fully. Then let your head come down and pull for a couple seconds. Push for a couple seconds. Pull for a couple seconds. Push, wobble gently. And without moving your hands, come up on your hands and knees again, please. Shift the shoulders forward. Turn the toes under. Keep the arms exactly how they are as you lift the knees up, straighten the legs, linger. Slowly make the move towards the straight line without pushing. When you hit the straight line, push and telescope it. Wobble gently. Then come way up on the toes of each foot. So you're coming at the up extreme with your feet. The sit bones are turning up. Slowly take each heel towards the down extreme, like toward the floor, to the floor if you can. Couple seconds. And then close your eyes and just hold it right here and just like go slower. I just experience the fact that you can be here and be a little more relaxed about it. And then last seconds, like push and accelerate it, feel the difference. And then shift the shoulders forward, bend the knees, point the toes, take it back to child's pose. Wobble gently. Slide your hands back, curl your head in, hesitate, and then slowly round your way up. Close your eyes. Couple seconds. Okay, and then open your eyes and come to an easy cross-legged position. Just Sukhasana. Stay with the left leg in front, please. Now from here, just stick the left leg out to the side. Pull the right foot in a little tighter. So you're in this position. I don't have a name for this one yet. And usually, like when I first started sitting like this a lot, my tendency was to try and be as open as possible. Just I'm always thinking, oh, that's better. But actually on this one, I like it. Try and bring your legs as close together as you can. They'll get stuck at a certain point because your foot's there. Each thigh will be angling out at about a 45-degree angle. You'll be facing down the middle of your planet. Tip forward a little bit so you can wriggle the butt back. And then just bring your spine up to neutral. Put your head on to where it feels neutral. Neutral is like if you were sitting in front of a mirror and you were doing eye gazing with yourself. So your eye gaze would be like perfectly level. The plane of your face would be equal with the mirror. Neutral is the starting point for this, okay? Now the 10 movements of your head start from neutral. Movement number 1 is just let your chin come up a little bit or a lot, and then it floats back down to neutral. Just sort of like land at a perfect neutral. Movement 1, the chin goes up a little or a lot, and then it floats down to neutral. Movement 2 is your chin goes down a little or a lot, and then it floats up to neutral, goes down a little or a lot. So again, just like play the game, let it float up to neutral. So 1 as it goes up, floats down to neutral. 2 as it goes down, floats up to neutral. Just go up and down a couple times. Just be aware you're either floating down to neutral or you're then floating up to neutral. You want to get really familiar with neutral though. Okay, then come to neutral. Movement 3 is you keep your head level, turn it to the left, a little or a lot. Movement 4 is you turn it to the right, a little or a lot. And just go side to side a couple times. Just keep the chin level the whole time. And just let your head glide. Don't feel like you've got to turn your head as far as possible. Just sort of like practice sort of mid-range movement actually, but just gentle, fluid side to side. Back to neutral. Movement 5 is you tip your head to the left. Movement 6 is you tip your head to the right. Like 5, 6. Do that a couple times, please. But while you're doing it, like do it as though you've never done it, like you've never done it before, and it's sort of more interesting than just doing silly little movements. Bring it back to neutral, and then movements, where are we, 7, is you keep the plane of your face level and you slide your head forward. 8 is you slide it back. 7, 8. And again, just let your head glide. Doesn't have to be big movements. Just sort of like, actually think of smaller and smaller movements. And I would vote, do this in front of a mirror so you can see what you're doing. Movement 9 is like press up through the top of your head, like grow tall. And 10 is you keep that up thought and just let everything settle down into a perfect neutral. I find myself valuing this perfect neutral point more and more. Okay, switch the legs, please. Tip forward a little bit so you can wriggle the butt back. Bring the spine up again. Now actually, whenever you take your chin up or down, you want to begin it with this gliding, the 7 and 8 movement. Like 7 is forward, 8 is back, 7 is forward, 8 is back. So like glide your head forward and then let the chin come up. The chin comes down and then it glides back to neutral, glides more back, and then the chin comes down. The chin floats up. Glide your head forward to take the chin up. Let the chin float down to neutral, glide your head back, and your head comes down. Did I say that okay? Just kind of do that a couple times. It's cool to get the hang of that. You glide it back to take the chin down, and then you glide your head forward to take the chin up. Close your eyes, and then do movement 3 and 4. Turn your head to the left and right a couple times. Again, this is easy, but just practice paying closer attention to it than normal. Movement 5 and 6, tip it to the left and right a couple times. Seven and 8, gliding your head forward and back. 9 is like press up through the top of your head, like grow tall. Keep that gentle up thought, and then 10 is just let everything gently float down into a perfect whole body neutral. And just linger here for a sec. Again, you want to get increasingly familiar with the feeling of no dissonance inside. The more familiar you are with the no dissonant feeling, the more you'll bust yourself when you're starting to get uptight again. Okay, open your eyes again. Switch your legs, please, again. Tip forward so you can wriggle the butt back. And then without using your hands, just rotate to the right. Now, because you're not using your arms, you can't rotate as far as you know you can. Just sort of rotate as much as you can, even though it won't be your maximum. Put your left hand down on your left knee, the right hand down on the floor behind you. The tendency is to start cranking with your arms right away. Teach yourself not to do that. Lift your hands up just to prove that you're not using them. And as you put them back down again, don't use them. Now, in order to twist any deeper, you'll have to use them. So use your arms and just wind yourself one notch tighter. Try to minimize your arms. Use your arms, wind yourself another notch tighter. Try to minimize your arms. A little further, a little further, a little further. Just like a gentle, tight twist. Notice that your pelvis is level, the belly's in, your spine's coming up and spinning. Both shoulders are back. Both shoulders are down. Chin is level. And then just gently turn your head to the right as far as it'll go. Movement number 4. Now everything's spinning around to the right like that. Keep it spinning to the right like that. Turn your head to the left as far as it'll go. Movement number 3. From here, movement number 1, take it up into the chin, inhaling. And then as you exhale, just fold out over your right knee and let your hands land in a comfortable, sort of like a push-up position. So you're folding out over your bent knee. The left leg is straight. Spread the toes down there. And then curl your head in and just slowly push your arms towards straight until it feels like you can plug the left sitting bone into the floor. Your back comes into a gentle round back extreme. Just a couple seconds here. Just gently round back it and breathe. Like, notice where any tight spots are in your back. Breathe into them more. Press into them gently more. And then keeping your arms straight and just keep your hands still where they are. As you inhale, take the chin up. And just come into a gentle back bend here. Couple seconds here. The left leg is still straight, the toes are still spread. Sort of look for the sweet spot here. As you exhale, pull the belly in, gently round your back again. The arms just stay straight, the hands stay where they are. With an inhale, take it up into the chin, like arching your back. And just smoothly go back and forth, just a couple times here. When I'm at home doing this, you'll just get into it and you'll go back and forth like 20, 30 times. You don't even need to count. You just get into it till it feels like it's like you're channeling it. Be gentle, please. Then start moving your belly around in little circles to the left. Start bringing the circles up through your torso, the spirals. Notice how your shoulders start getting more flexible, your head and neck starts getting more liquidy here. And again, just be gentle, but get liquid here. And then change the direction. Start low, start slow, small movement, but start going the other way. Gentle, get into it. Spiraling movement, bringing it up through your torso, your middle back, your shoulders, your head, your neck. And then with an inhale, take it way up into the chin, hit the top of the note up there. And as you exhale, bend your arms, just fold out over the knee. Curl your head in and just slowly push your arms straight to bring yourself up. And switch the legs, please. Tip forward so you can wriggle the butt back. Bring your torso up. Without using your hands, rotate. Rotate, rotate. Again, you won't be able to get very far. And then put the hands down, but don't use them. Lift them up, prove you're not using them. Put them back down without using them. And then deliberately, like, use them to just wind yourself one notch. Like, gently. Another notch. So you're just gently, lovingly wringing yourself out. Both shoulders back, both shoulders down, belly in. Turn your head to the left as far as it'll go. Turn your head to the right as far as it'll go. And then take it up into the chin. And as you exhale, fold out over the knee. Let your hands land at a comfortable push-up-y position. Now again, the right leg is straight. Spread the toes down there. Curl the head in. Slowly, just gently push your arms towards straight. Plug the right sitting bone into the floor. And come into a round back, gentle extreme. And just breathe it. So your head is in movement number 2. Lift your chin up into movement number 1. Let your spine begin to arch into a nice back bend, couple seconds. The right toes still spread. Pull the belly in, curl your head in, round back it. Couple seconds. Again, gently. Take it up into the chin. And then just get into it. Go back and forth a couple times. So it's clear what to do. You're just doing the repetitions back and forth. But again, be attentive to the linger moments, the flow on moments. And do it with love. Okay, start the circles with your belly. Start low. Doesn't matter which direction you go. You're going to go the other direction in a moment. Start low. Start bringing the spirals up gently through the torso. Again, just always gentle. Watch how your head and neck get into the act here. And then change the direction. Start low, small. Bringing it up through the torso. And then with an inhale, take it up into the chin, hit the top of the note. And as you exhale, bend your arms, fold out over the knee. And then curl your head in, round your way up. And then right leg, just cross it over the other one, pull it in, and just come into a cross-legged position of whatever you can do here. Now would be a good moment to go into Shavasana. But we don't actually have time. And so we're skipping the Shavasana. We're skipping the Freeform chapter. Well, I didn't actually think we'd get a Freeform chapter in tonight anyway. But for a couple seconds here, wriggle your butt back. Bring your torso up to vertical. And just snuggle your seat into the floor. Let yourself grow tall. Let your eyes soften and close. And then just relax, remember. Be aware of the tension level in your experience, and then let it diminish a little bit. That's easiest to do as you're exhaling. So just exhale and let the tension flow out of your field. At that point, be aware of the tension level in your experience. And with an exhale, just let the tension flow out of your field. Make little micro movements with your head until it feels like your head is on in a perfect neutral. And for 1 minute, get as tension-free as you can be. Do that by relaxing. And notice how the subtle joy begins to bubble up into your experience. And last couple seconds. Be aware that you're here. You're here in the middle of life live. And you're here with other yogis. And be aware that by being together like this, and practicing together like this, and being willing to talk about the stuff, we're helping one another get the hang of it. And so, mentally, telepathically, and you are doing things mentally, telepathically. Mentally, telepathically, just thank everyone here for being here. Practice exuding a feeling of thank you. Mentally, telepathically, thank the room for being here. Again, practice exuding a thank you. And mentally, telepathically, exude a thank you, a feeling of love out to the world. In other words, do what you can do right now to help promote peace on the planet. Radiate it gently. And pay attention to how you feel as you're doing this. Okay, folks. I apologize for running over. Thank you for hanging out with me. The homework is, you know what, have fun with the bed med. See you in the morning, 10 o'clock. Thanks for being here. You can leave your mat where it is. Nice seeing you.
Yo yo na prat shodaya